Hey everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about XBIO. There is a lot of volume coming into the stock and it's making a very bullish pattern, so I want to get into their chart and show you what I think could be coming next. And then after that, as always, I have some other nice looking tradable charts to show you. Now, if you're new to my channel, I have been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in each video I will show you trades that I see setting up right now. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. And also, if you would like to support the channel and become part of our Patreon community and see what we are buying and selling in real time for a measly $10 a month, that link is in the description. All right, the first stock I want to talk about is XENETIC Biosciences Incorporated, ticker symbol XBIO, and I'm sure everybody just calls this one XBIO. But this is pretty much the only thing I had going on today, man. There wasn't no day trades. There was everything in my portfolio was kind of just blah. So this was the only interesting thing that I was watching today, because there is a lot of volume pouring into this one. It's making a very bullish pattern. It's been super choppy. I think that there should be enough momentum to carry this thing past this high that it made just a few days ago. It's pulling back right now. I'm not in the stock currently. I have an order to buy some at $3.56. Hopefully this little pullback it's having is enough to execute my order and I can get in on this, because like I said, I do think there's a lot of volume, a lot of momentum coming into this stock, and I think there's a strong possibility this thing could test this high right back here around 584, certainly the high of a few days ago, right around 476. So hopefully I can catch that and move up if it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'll place my stop loss below this 8-period exponential moving average. But man, just tons of volume coming into this one. Even today's volume doesn't look like it's a lot, but I mean, this is a stock that typically doesn't have hardly any volume. There's been a lot of interest coming into this these last several days or so. I mean, if you go back to this day right here, if you look at that box on the left below the yellow 200 period simple moving average where it says 1.85, you can see the volume right below that, 57,000 shares on that day. The day before, 155,000 shares, a couple days before that, 104,000, day before that, 188,000. You get the point. This thing is a very thinly traded stock, and now we are in the millions. Even today's lower volume for the last week, this thing's up over 15 million shares. So tons of volume, tons of interest coming into the stock. These are the type of momentum plays that I like to look for swing trades, to try to catch that next move up. But this one has been pretty sloppy. But this one actually looks a lot like the stock that I did a video about yesterday, SPRT. Let's jump over that real quick. You can see how SPRT had that big gap up, and then it kind of traded down for a little bit, made that nice rounding bottom, and then the volume started to come back into the stock, and it's sending this thing up towards the previous highs right around $9 or so. I'm not currently in this stock. I'm still waiting for a pullback on it. I don't like to chase them too much, but sometimes they get away from you, and I just got to, look for the next stock. And this one that I'm looking at right now is XBIO. So hopefully I can get in on this one on a little bit of a pullback today, because with the price action it's making today, I think there's a stronger possibility of this thing just exploding higher tomorrow. So I'm not going to wait for a pullback to the 8-period on this one. But let's go to the 15-minute chart, because there is some concerns with this stock, even though there is tons of volume coming in. I mean, you can just see how volatile this thing has been. I mean, had a huge price explosion from about 220 or so all the way up to 470. And then within just a few hours, this thing was all the way back down to 250. So that's pretty unusual to have, this much buying pressure come in, to just have it roll over that quickly. But then you can see the next day it had a gap up and it held it, and then it rolled over again. So this thing is making a nice little rounded bottom, even though it is pretty sloppy. So I mean, there's a big tug of war going on in this little consolidation that it's making. But I mean, it's still a bullish triangle, and I'm just trying to buy it on a pullback to this support level. Hopefully it pulls back into this area and I can, buy this little zig up, and hopefully we get a zag above this previous high right here. So that's what I am looking for XBIO. I think there's a strong possibility for it. I know the market's been tough trading lately, but I'm gonna take a shot on this one if it pulls back into my order. But man, just a really sloppy little consolidation we got going on here. But I do think that there is enough volume coming in and enough momentum to certainly send this thing up to a new relative high and probably test this old high that it made right around 560 or so. So that's what I'm seeing in XBIO. I think it's worth a shot. Let me get into the next stock. All right, the next one I want to talk about is Net Savings Link Incorporated, ticker symbol NSAV. I talked about this one in yesterday's video, how it had been following up this 8-period exponential moving average. This white line had been following it up quite nicely, and now it's getting that nice slingshot move, and it looks like it's knocking on the doorstep to breaking out to an all-time high and holding it. This is just a 6-cent stock, so you got to be really careful with these. These can come crashing back down to earth just as fast as they go up, so try not to get married to stocks like these. I know a lot of these cheaper stocks, they have great stories behind them, but in my experience, more often than not, these things just end up flaming out. So this is the part of the trend where I kind of expect it to go parabolic. I think it's looking sort of like it's in this part of the move right here. So, I mean, if it starts to go parabolic, that's when I would start ringing the register if I was in the stock. Unfortunately, my broker would not let me buy any of this, so I got to just watch this one go up without me. But, man, just an absolutely beautiful pattern. And if we go a little closer, go to the 15-minute chart, you can just see how beautiful this pattern was actually shaping up. Making a beautiful bullish triangle consolidation formation, and this one is just, the logic behind this is just obvious. You can see the lows that are just getting higher, so obviously every sell-off is getting bought up even sooner, so the buyers are more enthusiastic, they are more in control than the sellers, and eventually you get that explosion higher past that resistance area, and then you just start moving into that parabolic part of the move. But if we go back to the daily chart, we can definitely see that, man, I think tomorrow it's probably going to be blasting out to a new high. There's still a decent amount of volume coming into this stock, and if we get any big volume days, I mean, this thing could really start to go parabolic. But NSAV, if any of you guys are in this stock, congratulations. I would expect a little bit more upside in this one, and I would be hoping that you guys would be ringing the register soon, at least on some of your positions, to lock in some of those profits, because you don't want to be left holding the bag when this thing does reverse, if it does. But next one I want to show you is FLGC. This one is on my watch list for a potential day trade. I'm thinking if this thing pulls back towards this support area, that should also coincide with this 8-period exponential moving average that is moving up into it. That should offer a double dose of support in this area right around, call it 580 or so, and that should offer a pretty decent bounce for a day trade. So that's the one that I will be waiting for tomorrow on my watch list. It might take 2 days for it to get down to that level, but if it does, I think it should offer a pretty decent bounce. And this one is Flora Growth Corporation, ticker symbol FLGC. So put that one on your watch list for a potential day trade tomorrow, because that chart is looking pretty good. And the last thing that I want to talk about, of course, is the Qs. I put on a little bit of a short trade on the Qs. I'm still in that trade. I've just bought some of the triple inverted ETF, the SQQQ, and it's been kind of a blah day in the market. So if the day was up pretty decently in the Qs, I was just gonna take my small loss on that position and just take it as a small loss, because it was just a hedge in case we got some more of a move down, but it's still pretty weak. So I'm going to hold on to that for at least one more day, because I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we have some follow through to the downside in the NASDAQ, because the market has been reacting quite harshly to a lot of earnings that have been coming out. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we did get a big swing down tomorrow. And actually, if we go to the 15-minute chart on the Qs, and back it out a little bit, you can still see it's still stuck in that megaphone pattern, and today has been pretty weak. I mean, it was just moving up very slowly, and now it looks like it's slowly starting to roll over. So I'm going to sit on this SQQ position and see if it will appreciate tomorrow if the NASDAQ goes down. But if I go to the SQQQ, let me back out just a little bit here, go to the daily. I'm in this position at $8.21. I mean, it's at $8.20 right now, so it's basically done nothing, which is kind of surprising because the NASDAQ is up a little bit. But, you know, I'm just going to hold on to it one more day, and if it breaks below this support area right here, right around 804 or so, then I'm going to take my small loss, and hopefully the NASDAQ continues rolling higher, and my other positions will continue going up. Okay, everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.